Ready to meet with the Realtor. Now what?
I'm Wendy Jansky-Serra with Realty Austin, and I'm here with Miguel from Geneva Financial. Last week we talked about the 5 steps a buyer should take when they are 12 to 18 months out from purchasing a home and how that plays into talking to a lender. So it's really those 5 steps of what to expect when talking to a lender. This week we're going to talk about a buyer consult because you're ready to meet with your realtor, which coincides with step number 4 from last week.
Yep.
And I really just kind of want to run you guys through what to expect in a buyer consultation. Super, super important to sit down and meet with your realtor to talk about the things that are important to you. But before you do that, just know, so there's 2 types of buyers that come into a buyer's consultation. You have the first one who hasn't talked to a lender yet, and then you have the second one who's already talked to their lender. They've been through that 5-step process and they are ready to go. Let's set up.
Those are the ones we want, yes.
That's okay, even if you haven't. But I'll tell you, I'm not going to sit down and have a buyer's consultation with you unless you have talked to a lender, because there's no point in sitting down and setting up a property search if you don't know what your buying power looks like. We can set up a property search to look for $1 million homes, but if you can only afford $250,000, why are we looking at $1 million homes? That would be the A buyers who haven't talked to a lender. I would get you into communication with the lender first, talk to them, get pre-qualified, then we sit down for that buyer's consultation. The second ones have that pre-qual in hand, they're ready to go. So what to expect in a buyer's consult? Really, set yourself aside about an hour to meet with your realtor, and to be honest, they should go through a list of things with you. I mean, it should be thorough. Buying a house these days is more than just, I think, what do you want, Miguel? Like 4 bedrooms?
I want 5 bedrooms. I want an acre of land for my 3 dogs, 2 cats, great school, granite countertops.
Okay, so for example, those are things that are all really important when looking for a home. It's not just about number of beds and square footage anymore. It's location, it's amenities, it's the commute to work. That's a big one in Austin. How long are you comfortable sitting in a car to get to work on the daily basis? Some people travel a lot, and you may say, I don't want to be any further than 15 or 20 minutes away from the airport. All of that comes into play when you sit down with a realtor and you talk about the things that are important to you in the house that you want to buy. Secondly, it is so important for however many decision makers there are in this buying process to be present at a buyer's consultation.
Yes.
I mean, if I'm going to sit down with only the husband, but the wife has a say, then I'm missing the other half of the decisions that are going to be made. So we would go out aimlessly looking at homes because I haven't been able to sit down with both parties and get both of their takes on what's important to them. So that's something else to remember. Everybody needs to be available to sit down with a realtor and discuss what's important to you. Also during that time, we're going to set up that property search. That's why we go through all of the important things to you in the home, in the location, the area, all of that kind of stuff. We're going to set up that property search so that you can see on a big screen, here's where I want to be. These maybe are my borders of my search area. Like, I don't want to have to drive any further north than 45 on the north side of Austin, or maybe I don't want to be south of the river. Those things are crucial to setting up the right search עצ in proximity for folks as well. We're also going to sit down and talk about the timeline of events and what to expect. When I sit down with my clients, write out a timeline for you. We're going to talk about what's going to be expected. There's homework. Yeah, that's right, there's homework. It's called drive time homework. Because it's really important for buyers to be able to, this is especially for the folks who are in Austin or you have some time before you need to buy a house. This isn't like, okay, our lease is up in a month and we need to find a house tomorrow. If you have a little bit of free time, we're going to send you out You're going to drive around because you're going to find that either there's areas that you love or don't love, or maybe you run across a little pocket neighborhood that you truly fall in love with, and then we really hone in and are waiting for something to pop up in that particular neighborhood. But we're going to talk about the timeline as it pertains to the consultation, the homework. We're under contract. What does that mean? There's an option period and option money. There's earnest money and a financing period, which is directly related to the lenders. So that's a crucial time frame that is really important to be talked about and for you guys as buyers to understand. There's things like the inspection. We had an inspection, a home inspection. Now what? How do we negotiate repairs? How do we negotiate maybe money off the home? And then what does it look like if we successfully move through all of these things and then we're preparing for closing? So
prior to that, the appraisal, how that could factor in and change a lot of things.
That's true.
But all the steps that Wendy has just mentioned, it is really important. Either at this stage, you have already spoken to a lender and you know what your numbers are, how much house you can buy, or at this stage, you would come to me and would sit down. What you'd have to do, firstly, fill out an application. I will pull your credit. I will request documentation to verify everything on your application. I do want to make sure you do make $1 million a month. Yes, I want to make sure you make all that money, all that income needs to be verified. Your FICO needs to be looked at. And then once I'm content and happy with that, and I actually have your documentation up front, I will issue a pre-qualification letter. And with communication with the realtor, if you're ready to make an offer, I will call the listing agent and introduce myself and let them know that these borrowers, I've received all the documentation, they are ready to go, we're ready to go on the contract. So please meet with a lender, a local lender first in the 5 steps prior, or at this stage, she'll just send you to go see one. So yeah.
Like I said before, I won't take you to look at houses unless you've already talked to a lender, because you're wasting your time by looking at homes that you don't know if you can afford. So, but that pretty much is what to kind of expect in that buyer's consult. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but trust me, when you get in there, it's kind of an open mouth, insert fire hose type of moment. Lots of great information, but again, this is all educational. That's why it's crucial to be able to sit down and do this, so you don't go through the process and go, well, wait a minute, my realtor never told me about this, and then all of a sudden you're ending up with surprises. So make sure you sit down and have a buyer's consult with whichever realtor you decide to use, and make sure you talk to a lender prior to sitting down with that realtor, because you're ready to go. I mean, you basically have your golden ticket, your pre-qualification letter saying, I'm pre-qualified, let's go find a house.
Yeah.
So, but that's pretty much it for today. Now, next week, we are going to talk about, holy crap, I'm under contract, now what?
Yes.
This is the part where people get really excited, but also got a little bit terrified because things just got real.
Yep, things got real, and I'll go into more depth of what me as a lender, you can typically expect, what I will ask for. We'll go through underwriting, but we'll go over all that next week. So Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. You guys have an awesome day, and thanks for checking in and watching our video series.
Have a great weekend.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.